So I wanted to talk about going to jail and how I never expected myself to go to jail before. I just never expected that I would ever go to jail. But I ended up in jail after I beat up six people in a mental hospital, and I made a video about this, but I felt like I didn't want to be injected with this experimental drug that they now inject me with every month, by the way. And so I beat up six people. Now I don't. Now I guess I learned my lesson, but they're still injecting me with this drug. Anyway, point is, I never expected that I would end up in jail. In fact, from my point of view, it wasn't just to inject me with anything, because you're supposed to be able to deny. Uh, if you don't want the drugs they give you, you're supposed to be able to deny it. At least that's what they say sometimes. That's what I've been told. But then sometimes they just force it on. Most of the time they just force it on you, and you just have to take the drugs that they give you because they say you have a disorder. Anyway, so they gave me a disorder, and then they wanted to inject me with a drug. And so I got up and I beat up six people, and then they said, "Oh, that's battery," and I'm like, "Okay, you know what? It's to me it's self-defense, but yeah." Even just definitionally, that's self-defense. But if you're in the mental hospital and they've already diagnosed you, as far as anybody knows, you have a disorder and you deserve to be injected, is what the society wants to tell you or whatever. I don't know. Seems crazy to me, but that's pretty crazy. I mean, I'm not a lab rat, I'm not a lab mouse or whatever. But effectively, I am now because they just inject me with stuff, and then if I don't take these meds, and send a video every day to my case manager of me taking the meds. So I have to take 4 videos a day of me taking the meds, and then I send that to my case manager. If I don't do that, then all of a sudden they're going to assume that I'm not taking my meds, and then they might send me to a hospital. And then if I fight, they'll send me to prison. I was about to go to prison, but I took a plea deal because my mom wanted me to. Anyway, my point of this video is that I never expected to go to jail because I never thought I'd do anything wrong, but then it got complicated because, not complicated, it was very simple to me, but what do you do when they're going to inject you with something that could harm your body? And you don't feel like you have a disorder, you know? But that's the thing. I never expected to go to jail. It was one of the worst experiences that I've ever had. Not the whole time, but towards the end of my sentence there, that was hard. It was just hard being there. You're packed in tight with all these other guys, just 30 other guys in the room with you. At least in the jail that I was in, it wasn't single, just it wasn't a small jail. It was pretty big. And anyway, yeah, we live in sort of an unjust system, but I'm not saying it's completely unjust. Some people go away for the right reasons, and some of the guys in the jail kept trying to blame me for beating up people they were like, "Oh, you beat up 6 people. That's not good." And they're like ignoring what they did to be in jail. Like one guy stole something. I'm like, "Well, you stole something." Like we're all in here for something. Like that was sort of not funny at the time, but it is sort of funny that some of these guys were angry at me for fighting when they either stole or sold drugs or worse. I was like, yeah, we're all kind of in here for a reason, except for those guys who did the worst things. There's certain crimes I really can't forgive, but I would never sell drugs. See, to me, that's worse than fighting. Like selling drugs to people. Especially in my case, where I'm just trying to defend myself from being injected with an experimental drug. And if you don't think it's experimental, well, they don't know long-term side effects of it, so that makes it experimental. Anyway, I just wanted to make this video I just wanted to make this point. I never expected to be in jail, but the same thing could happen to you. All it takes is one person calling you crazy, maybe because you got angry or something. And then the cops getting called on you, and then they take you somewhere. That's all it takes. Anyway, yep, see ya.